All right, everybody, Samori Benjamin here from Staten Island, Wagner College, here with a very special guest, former Knick Kyle O'Quinn, but more importantly, the best player from my alma mater, Norfolk State University. Cal, in 2012, led Norfolk State to our only NCAA tournament win in school history. Now, Cal, great to see you, man. What are you doing here at Norfolk State now?
So now I serve as the Executive Director for Athletic Advancement, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to be back at the university. Great way to top off, a great time that I had in my playing career, being back at home. Wanted to always get back to the Virginia area, and the university once again stepped up in a big part of my life, giving me an opportunity to learn this side. So super grateful for it and super happy to be back.
Norfolk State means a lot to me, and like you, I'm from the New York area and traveled down to go to Norfolk State. Real quick, Cal, how did you end up going to Norfolk State?
Norfolk State found me, and easy to pick a school when they choose you. My first scholarship offer, first full and only scholarship offer. And you were familiar with the Virginia area. My sister went to Hampton, so an in-house rivalry. But at the same time, I had to make a decision for myself, and thankful for Coach Evans, Coach Jones, and those guys coming to New York, getting me out of the city, and essentially creating a home for me, for years to come.
Yeah, and definitely Hampton. I did not know your sister went to Hampton. That's very cool, man. Very cool. Like you might think, our head coach, his wife, is a Hampton alum, so that's very cool. Now, when I was at Norfolk State, before you were, the athletics were always basketball, football, always mediocre. I never thought that we would have a team as good as the one that you led that won a tournament game. So when you were at NSU, winning the MEAC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, in 2012, you guys got that great run. What was that like to win the MEAC for the first time in school history, and then to not just do that, but you all played Missouri, knocked them off, 15 seed, beating the 2 seed. That was beautiful, man. So how about all that?
It was a great time. It was a great time for the university. It was a great time for me personally, the guys on the team. But it was a wonderful time. As Mr. Miller always said, it was a great time to be a Spartan. And I think that topped off a very good year that we all had. As far as athletics go, we won the championship in football that year. And just happy that we had a chance to etch ourselves in history. That was a big win, something that we can always refer to, go back to, use that as an example for recruiting or bringing a positive light to our university and the HBCU community. But more importantly, the university won at the end of the day. They gave all of us an opportunity, and we did our part. Yeah,
man, no doubt about that. Very special time. Now, I remember meeting you, because for anybody who's associated with Norfolk State, to just make it to the tournament, that was history. We had never experienced that. Got a chance to really show, talk our stuff and really show our school colors and have pride, and we won a game. That was amazing, man. Like I said, I never really knew if that would happen when I was going to the school, and then you get drafted. I remember you got drafted by Orlando, and I remember you came to the Garden. I remember, I met you when you were at Orlando first, and I got the picture of that still. So first player in the modern era from our school to make it to the NBA, that was truly amazing, man. I feel you, truly amazing. So when you got drafted by Orlando, what was that moment like for you?
First and foremost, God is good. You don't think about that kind of stuff when you're having such a good time in college and you're handling the business that's right there in front of you. My job was to be one of the best players to leave Norfolk State. I was provided the opportunity to do so, and I think some would say I did. Everything else was just a job opportunity, and through the blessings of God, me and my family were able to enjoy that. My school was always, Norfolk State had always been proud of that, and I'm happy for that. But it's kind of hard to explain those feelings. You're rolling with the punches, good or bad, man. It all worked out for me, and that opportunity in Orlando was a really, really good job coming out of college. And then I think I learned a lot, but I knew a lot because I came from a place that poured so much into me. So I was ready for anything, and just so happened that Orlando made the call, and we're all grateful for that happening.
Yeah, and then of course you ended up with the Knicks after that. Now, did you grow up a Knicks fan?
Yeah, naturally being from New York, you're a natural Knicks fan.
Not everybody, man.
I think if you have the MSG network, I think if you have the MSG network, you're somewhat of a Knicks fan. And, my dad used to take me to games and shoot things at the Garden once in a while when we could, but being an actual Knick player is a much different experience, and I think that the true blessing was being able to have my family right there with me at the time of need, up, down, good game, bad game, and everybody enjoyed the Garden experience. So God has been really good in my life when you think about it, but most importantly, my family's been right by my side.
What was it like to live a dream and play at the Garden every night and play for the New York Knicks?
talk about how magical that is. You know, one day we went through a list of things that you miss the most being a player, and playing on Christmas in the Garden is probably one of the things you'll never feel again. And I hope those guys never take it for granted, because that's something that you can't explain it. It's an amazing feeling being a part of the show at the Garden. You know, the world's most famous arena, 41 times a year. You know, I can keep telling you all the good, but I think you know it's so much good I could go on and on all day.
No doubt. Okay, now I know you went to Norfolk State University Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame recently, and I got a chance to meet and interview the first Norfolk State University baseball player to make the MLB, Terry Bradshaw. He was with the Reds last year as their hitting coach, and that was a great meeting him and all that. So, what was it like for you to be able to go into Norfolk State University Sports Hall of Fame?
It was great. It was great. Not only me, but the whole team went in. You know, I think that's the true, you know, blessing of having a team that did something great. All being recognized by the university. I mean, a lot of people put it on me, but I'm nothing without the team. You know, the coach that gave me the opportunity, and we had a really, really good team. It's just, you know, sometimes I just shined a little bit brighter than everybody else in the stats. You know, but we had a really good team. So to see that team get recognized by the university, all those guys have a rightful place in history and have a home at Norfolk State. And I'm glad that they got a chance to feel that. And, you know, it's one thing that I can add to my, you know, resume that my kids can go up and say, you know, not only in my dad's jersey retired, but he's in the Hall of Fame with 15 other great guys, and some managers, some good coaches. You know, it's just a wonderful community to be a part of. So it's super grateful for that.
Couple more for you. Okay, now, Norfolk State right now, Mike Vick is there. The football program is playing so far 4 games, 5th game here today. What has the excitement level been like on the campus in Norfolk community with Mike Vick in the football team?
We're super excited and super blessed to have Mike Vick, you know, calling shots as the head football coach. You know, big time hire for us, and I think that he's doing a great job with these young men. He's from the area, so he's able to speak to that. He's from where these guys come from, you know, so he's able to speak to that. He's just a great guy, and I think that I'm super excited to have him on campus. Football program is in a good place. You know, hopefully we wish that we won last week against Sacred Heart. You know, it's a very winnable game here, but don't want to speak too soon about that. But, you know, everything is on the up and up with Mike Vick calling the shots, and I think that's the right hire, and I think that the university is very happy to have him on campus.
How cool is it that they are playing in New York City right now, your hometown? How cool is this?
Super. Being able to come home and come to watch a game. You know, football's not too big in New York, so you got to go down there to Virginia to get the full feeling of football. But, you know, having it, you know, up here, you know, there's some excitement, kind of see what Virginia's about. You know, I got some family in the stands, they want to see what's going on. So bringing that New York excitement to that Virginia, you know, football excitement, bringing it together down the Turnpike, it's a sweet thing. And like I said, you know, couldn't be better than having Michael Vick as the head coach.
Last two for you. What was it like just playing against the other HBCUs, going to those campuses and playing in those gyms, Hampton, South Carolina State, all that?
You know, that was a time where, you know, you didn't know nothing else. You know, those gyms, South Carolina State served as my, you know, Madison Square Garden. You know, you don't know nothing else, so you go out there and you treat it as such. You're very grateful. You know, now I look back, those are some tough gyms to play in. You know, fans right up on top of you. You know, A&T, you got the dog pound right by the bench. You know, it's so many different components that you look at now, and you're like, wow, I really had to play under those, not conditions, but with those, you know, factors. You know, but I don't think that I would be the player I am without those fans, gym, the man I am today. And also, you know, they made that win in the tournament, the season we had, and won the championship. It made it so much sweeter, but you knew how much pride the HBCU community had. So all those gyms played a big part.
Yeah, you're a big guy. Did you ever play football, consider it in New York?
I played tight end 1 year. Where? Campus Maggie. Played there 1 year. You know, I don't think football was my call, but growing at 6'7", 6'8", you know, I think I went where I was supposed to be, and things worked out. But I have a love for football. Wonderful game to be a spectator of, but I don't think I'm a football player all the way through it, especially being from New York.
Yes, sir. Last one for you.
Are you good?
I asked all athletes this. Most talented teammate you ever played with?
Most talented teammate I ever played with. Wow. I've had so many teammates over the years. I would say, to be honest, I'm going to go with Victor Oladipo. Okay. I think Victor Oladipo is not only a phenomenal person, but a tremendous athlete. With multiple positions on the floor, athleticism, the person he is, he put that all together. He's a heck of a man, heck of a teammate. He's a tremendous athlete.
All right, folks. Norfolk State University legend. He led Norfolk State again to our first ever NCAA tournament basketball appearance, and that same year we won our first and only NCAA tournament game, beat Missouri. That was the biggest thing in Norfolk State sports as far as I'm concerned. Best player in Norfolk State University history, certainly the modern era, Kyle O'Quinn. Cal, man, thank you so much.
Appreciate
Great
it.
seeing you.
Always. Good seeing you, man.
And can't forget former New York Knick.
Yeah, my man. Yep.
Thank you.